Hi everybody, so today we are looking at my 2010 Yamaha XJ6 Diversion because she is being naughty. There is an electrical short of some sort going on down here around the headstock. I'm pretty sure I know which multi-connector it's related to, but it's not that easy to actually get to because of all the fairings, so we've got to take this off to get in here. And I thought, well, let's do a video doing it because I know you guys like these sorts of videos. And now I have my new camera and my new lighting. It should be able to be a lot clearer than it used to be in the past. This is a test, so I'm going to learn with this video if there's bits that don't work quite so well. But whatever, that's beside the point. The point is, DIVI, you're being very naughty and we need to sort it out. The problem itself, as I say, is a short, but what it's causing is it's causing like the high beam light to come on. I'm not entirely sure if the high beam's actually coming on or not. The indicator light stays solid, so the rear indicators are just solid on, and you just have to give it a wiggle and it goes away, so it's going to be a short of some sort. Shall I see if I can recreate it? Okay, so let's try turning it on. Very often when I try and turn it on, the problem shows itself. And it's not. Can you get it to do it? This is going to be a nightmare. I was hoping this was going to be an easy one. Oh god. Which means we're back in the territory of intermittent electrical faults. Well, if you're a subscriber of my channel, and if you're not, why not? Hit the button, it's free. I recently, or should we say, I say recently, I've been very busy, it's been a while, it's probably been a couple of months. I was having a lot of problems with my DRZ with an intermittent electrical fault. And there's a whole series of videos on me getting to the bottom of that one because I famously said earlier in a video, you know, it seems like it could almost be two completely separate faults that happened at the exact same time on the road, and that would be like so unlikely that I'm not going to go down that route of investigation. Yeah, well, I should have done because it was two completely separate intermittent faults that occurred within 150 feet on the road. Okay, well, first things first, pretty simple. We've just got to take all the fairing screws out. I forgot under here there's a push button clip that has come out. How easy. That it? Something's holding down here, but it feels rubbery, so I'm thinking that's just going to pop off. Yes. Right. I need to disconnect my indicators. Black to black, red to yellow. That's why I like bullet connectors. So much easier. I've just realised the lighting system on this bike doesn't come on until the engine's started, so I'm just going to have to start it and see. Okay, we've made some progress. I had to stop the engine so you can actually hear me, but watch this. I'm going to start the bike, I'm going to wiggle it, and watch what the high beam, low beam does. Okay, so wiggling them backwards and forwards, you may notice the lights were dipping up and down. So I need to look at these multi-connectors closer because it was by twisting one of these I was causing that. It could just be grime and dirt in there. It could be corroded. I won't know until I look at it. There is a zip tie here, which is one of these reusable ones, so that should just undo. Okay, so we've got that apart. So we know it's one of these. They're pretty dirty looking, but nothing's obvious at the moment. Come on. Wow. Can you see all the green and all the corrosion? Okay, so the dash isn't lighting up, it is trying to turn over, and it's not allowing it to start. So, this is a pretty important one. Now, I don't have any contact cleaner, which would be the best thing to use. All I'm going to be able to use, I think, is WD-40 and a bit of sandpaper and just try and clean them up. Let's let that soak for a minute. Same on that side. It's a little tricky to show you this, but I got a little piece of sandpaper that I folded over a few times, and I'm just going to run it up and down the sides of the pins and hope I can scratch this oxidization off. There we go, that's actually worked alright. Okay, so now this plug, yeah, there is some green going on here. These are even harder to clean because obviously you can't really get anything in there. And there's one last blast WD-40 to get any bits of sand out. I think this winter I might make quite a few videos sort of going over both my bikes, doing the jobs that I should have done for a while, like, you know, giving it a good clean within, taking the fairings off, tending to any issues. Divi's got quite a bit of work she needs doing. She needs new channel sprockets and stuff. Right, well, let's try plugging that back in. And then unplugging it again, and then plugging it back in, and unplugging it again. If you can guess what I'm doing here, I'm hoping to scratch the contacts up enough to get a new connection, or a better connection, or a good connection. Okay, as you can see, we just found our culprit, and it is this wire here. So what am I going to do about this? It's a bit difficult to see, but in here you can actually get something down behind the pins, and you press a little lever and you can pull the pin out of the housing. This is what I'm going to have to do, but the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to photograph this from all four sides, as many sides as I can, so I know exactly where they all go again. They're all colour coded, but I just want to make sure I know where they go should I have to take them all apart. So there you go, we've got good quality images that we can zoom in on and see exactly what was going on. Now it seemed to be this black one here, so that's going to be this one up here, so I'm going to attempt to pull it out. But not with that tool, I'm not. Got an idea, give me a second. Okay, so what I've done is I've made myself a tool. I've taken a piece of stainless steel TIG welding stock, and I have just flattened off two sides of it on the grinder, just to make it nice and thin. And hopefully this will be just the ticket to get it out. Okay, I've spent 5 minutes playing with it. I can't quite work out how it comes apart. I know it will, it's just how. But I suddenly thought, try the obvious thing first. This is the thing I try and teach everyone when I'm trying to, you know, teach them how to fix bikes or do anything. Try the obvious thing first. Here's an old trick. Bend the pin very slightly over. Very, very slightly. And the hope of that is what's actually happened over time is just that the pin's been absolutely centralised, and there's enough wiggle room in there that it can just move and then not be touching anything. So it's like bend the pin slightly over. Not so much that when you try and push this together it's going to bend it even more and break it. But you should feel it sort of at a more positive sort of clunk. Okay, so we're in. Let's try starting out. Still doing it, but not quite as much. Okay, that's annoying. Basically, when I'm moving the plug around up here, it's not actually doing it so much. I'm now starting to wonder if there is a break in here because this piece of cable feels a little bit hard. And cables can go off, like they sort of corrode inside. Oh no, I think we were wrong all along. I think it's the other side. I think we just made a breakthrough. Okay, so that's actually solved the problem. What I did was I just went in and I've closed up the little clasps a little bit. And I've just found another one that's doing it. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to try and close, because the metal slots in here, it's so small, I can't really show you, but there's some very thin metal in there, and you can kind of close the gap a little bit. I think this is all that's happened, is I think that over time they've been stretched out, and the corrosion's caused this as well. Now I've cleaned the corrosion out, they're wobbling around more. So I'm going to try and close those all up a little bit and see if that solves all of the issues, because I noticed if I wiggled it really hard, the entire dash went off. Now I'm giving each pin a very slight flex. Not a lot, I'm not trying to bend all of them, because you'll never get it back together. Just trying to get them a little bit out of line so they sit differently now. I think that still goes together. Okay, I'm going to call this temporarily fixed. It has fixed the problem. I think what the actual problem was is that this connector sits vertically, so any water that gets in the top of it runs down through it, sits inside it, causes corrosion, and then that corrosion causes the pins to sort of fur up so they get a bit wider. I think that then tends to lead to the pockets, the female side, becoming a bit overstretched. So then you have a problem of both bad fit and corrosion causing a, well, not a short in this case, it turns out it's just not making a connection. It obviously needs this to be connected. Now if you imagine that the way it's supposed to work is this is the slot and the blade comes in and it sits like that. If it's been slightly opened up, it might be fine and sit like that, but if you wiggle it, it can just sit in that middle part, and I think what was happening is it was just getting there. But I am going to look into seeing if I can get a hold of a 10-pin multi-connector at some point in the future, and I'll have to basically take this one out and solder in all new ends onto all these wires and reconnect them all, basically replace the entire connector. Well, there you go. I didn't know what this video was going to be, but I know you guys like watching these sorts of things, so there is how I would tackle a electrical issue, you know, investigate and tackle it. We have got a temporary solution, and we have a permanent solution should that not work. So maybe there are some things in this that you might be able to use in the future if you have a problem with your bike. I don't know. If you did find this video interesting or useful or entertaining, or it helped you pass some time and procrastinate from doing the things you're supposed to be doing, then leave a thumbs up. Huge thanks to my Patreon supporters. It's only $1 a month and you get videos 3 days early. You also get to be part of the Q&As. And you can also PM me through Patreon. It's a nice little community over there. As I say, it's $1 a month. Please do come over and join if you wish to help me out. I know if you don't have a Patreon account, it's annoying to go and set one up. It doesn't take more than 5 minutes, and it literally, as I say, you can cap it at $1 a month and you'll never pay any more than that. Well, it's $1 plus taxes. It works out being about 99. Anyway, have we reached the end of the video? Is everyone gone? Right, okay. I have to tell you about a giveaway now. You know, I've got the calendars, the motorcycle and the mixed images ones I've been doing. They've been selling very well. Thank you very much. If you would like one, links in the description. Although you probably won't buy one now when I tell you what I'm about to do. So I'm going to make this a 24-hour giveaway. A very kind subscriber of my channel, Alan. I'm not going to use your surname because I didn't know if you wanted to do that. If you want to come forward in the comments and say, it's me, then please do. But Alan basically bought a couple of calendars for himself and bought a couple of calendars and said, why don't you do a giveaway with these? You know, very much like what Eric did with the helmet jacket racket and the clocks and stuff. It's a way of helping support my channel and give back something to the masses, as it were, to some person that might not have been able to afford one or something. Okay, the way this is going to work is very simple. It's like all my other giveaways. Leave your normal comment like you do, but at the end of it, just put CG. And then what I'll do is I'll use a random comment picker, and 24 hours after this video goes live to YouTube, not when it goes to Patreon. Patrons, make sure that you comment on the video, not on the Patreon, to be entered. 24 hours after that, I'll use a random comment picker to pick one of those comments. The first one that comes up that ends in CG, I will reply to you and say, hey, you're the winner, you need to contact me. And I'll give you an email address. You email me, I'll give you a password. You then have to comment that password on the video. The reason I do this is just so I can confirm that the username matches the email address, because I don't want someone emailing me going, oh yeah, I'm that person, but they're not really. Once that's there, I'll just get your address and I'll send you the calendar anywhere in the world. I've just realised I'm giving both of them away in this video, so I'm going to pick 2 people, so it'll be the first and then the second. But to make sure that I don't disappoint either of you, I'm just going to let you pick whatever calendar you want. I'll sort out the stocking levels, that's not a problem for me. So both of you can have a motorcycle one, or both can have a mixed images one, or you can have one of each. I'll leave it up to you to pick. The cost is the same, so it makes no difference to me, and it means you get to get the one that you want. I don't know why I didn't think of that before. Anyway, sorry if this is a little bit longer than I was intending, but people like long videos of watching them at 3 o'clock in the morning. Oh, before anyone says it, I have a multimeter. There wasn't a time that this would have helped me. Just preempting that one. Catch you next time. Don't worry, I did put her back together. Sing for me, Divi. If you enjoyed this video and the other content on the channel, please consider following the links in the description to show your support.